Welcome back to another episode of Conversations with Talise. Thank you so much for being here. Today I have a very special person here with me. She is the founder and owner of FinGive LLC. She has over 30 years of experience working in the financial industry. She's also a certified financial planner, the author of 3 amazing books, Building Your Financial Future, Even to the Point of Giving Back, Vessel of Steel, and Your Highest Potential Planning Workbook. Angela Underwood, thank you for being here with me.
Thank you so much, Talise, for having me.
Thank you. This is an honor. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm excited.
Thank you. I know I didn't even do justice of everything that you've done and how you help the community
Yes.
and all over.
Yes.
So can you please talk more about your background and how you've gotten to this journey where you are today?
Absolutely. Talise, I worked in the financial industry for over 38 years. And as a banker, I primarily worked as a project manager. And so I had the opportunity to work through different areas throughout the banking departments, learning more about, what each of the financial department operations were. And that helped me to, learn more about financing, And I think financing is something that I was born innate with to understand and to teach. When I was a little girl, I remember picking up a dime off the ground, and my cousin was with me, and we were going to, split the dime in half, and I was trying to break it in half as opposed to giving him a nickel and I take a nickel. So, I really needed to understand financing myself. And so being in the financial industry really, really helped me on my journey, as far as being an author, writing several books, and also conducting workshops, helping others to understand financial literacy, financial terms as well.
That's amazing. And it's amazing how you started off at such a young age.
Yes.
And it stayed with you.
Yes,
and
I recall.
are still in that industry today.
Yes.
That's amazing. That means it's really on your heart.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
What are the age groups that you work with?
Primarily in the schools. I work with children starting from the 2nd grade up to 8th grade. Also in high school. So I help programs for individual groups sections throughout the school, 1st through 3rd, and then 5th and 8th grade, and going through high school, getting ready for college. So there are several programs that I offer my programs.
Yeah. I love that because school is education is there. Education is great.
Yes.
But finances are not really taught in school, especially at such a young age.
Yes.
So that's amazing.
Yeah.
So when you're teaching the younger children, what kind of questions do they ask, or do they understand about the finances?
You would be really surprised about the questions children ask. I was just teaching 2 weeks ago at a grammar school, and the children, they were 5 and 6 year old, and one child talked about investments, and so they can pick up. They're like little sponges, they can pick it up very easily. Understanding money, of course. Several children talk, where does money come from?
Right.
And they said the tree,
Right.
from the tree, right? And so, it comes from my mom's purse, and, so, you really need to understand where money comes from. Children, they're going to have to use money all of their lives, for the rest of their lives. And they need to know how to manage it, how to use it wisely. And, that's where my passion lay within, our children, and help them to understand, money management.
So good.
Yes.
I mean, we need to know, because I can remember back when I was in school, and it wasn't taught.
No.
We had, accounting, and you had your finance classes in college, but when I think back to grammar school and high school, it wasn't really taught. Savings, investments. There's just so, and I think there's so much where if you're not taught about it, you can get lost.
Oh, yes.
And a lot of times when we get lost, we'll say, okay, maybe later, we'll forget about it.
It's something that sticks with you. Yes.
Exactly. So that's amazing.
Yeah.
So what are some obstacles that you have found with trying to help people of all ages
Mm-hmm.
learn about finances, or even in the industry,
Yeah,
the financial industry.
in the financial industry, and also working with the adults. As you get older, you make mistakes and you say, I wish I'd done this, earlier, or even planning for retirement. I know several adults, they're not ready for retirement because of the planning, they wasn't able to plan correctly. And, when the opportunity is there, sometimes corporations, they will match, your 401k, and, if you're investing to your max, and that's when you're ready to retire. But a lot of times, people are not doing that. So, that's not really a good thing. Understanding the different motors and the vehicles for financing, CDs, money market accounts, Roth IRAs, all of those different vehicles where you can invest in high yield savings accounts. To earn more money, more interest. So you need to understand all of those different vehicles, through banking and learning how to make your money grow.
Absolutely.
To become wealthy. Yeah. So there are different areas that you need to look into. Yeah.
So with retirement, for
Yes.
example,
Mhm.
how important is it for younger, like maybe people in their 20s, maybe even younger, to start saving for retirement?
Yeah. If you look at the growth of your money, once you place it into the retirement account, if you're younger, then you have more time, to invest, and then you have more time to gain more. Throughout the stock market as it increases, so your money is compounding throughout the year, as you're investing early. But if you're waiting until late, you're less aggressive. You can't really get into those high aggressive stocks where you're earning more money. So you need time to grow. And if you're planning to retire early, then, retirement account is something you want to start doing early. You don't want to wait until, retire when you're 65 or,
older, right?
Older, yeah, that's important. Yeah.
The younger the better.
The younger the better, yes.
Retire the better.
Yeah, you may have other goals that you're looking at. You may want to start a business. Of course, you're working at a job and you're learning the skills throughout the organization, but you may later want to start your own business, and you're able to retire, use those funds, to, pay for the things that you need going forward in your own business, your own company. Yeah.
I really like that, Angela. And so, speaking of starting businesses, what about like entrepreneurs? Because sometimes when you are an entrepreneur, I guess an entrepreneur and an employee, you do have the matches. Your company may give you bonuses and things like that to put up for money. But as an entrepreneur, you may not have that outside help.
Right, you do not. But you can still have a retirement account. Nothing's stopping you as an entrepreneur from having a retirement account or even a Roth IRA retirement account. So you want to plan your retirement as an entrepreneur as well. So definitely you have that option there. Yes.
That's very good to know.
Yeah.
Because it's not always the top of mind.
It's not. No.
Don't always think about the future today when we're especially starting out. Yeah, it's more like for today I'm going to do this, but it's good to think about the future as well.
Definitely.
Plan for it.
Plan for it. Yeah, it's very important.
What are some of the classes or workshops you teach for people planning?
Yeah, I teach workshops. One of my workshops called Building Your Financial Future workshop, and it's all regarding planning. And so you want to plan for the things that you want in life, so setting goals and understanding exactly what you're looking to achieve, that goal, and how you're going to go about obtaining it, what resources you're going to need, how much, the time frame, and all of those different areas, to help you accomplish that goal, that thing that you want. So that's, it's pretty much planning overall, and then going into other types of financial concepts as far as credit reporting and all of that. So we talk about that in our workshops, how to improve your credit. There are techniques for doing that, how to increase your wealth, and your legacy planning, estate planning. So there's an overview of all those different areas. Financial planning is so wide and so vast. There's types of insurance. We have medical insurance, life insurance, auto insurance, homeowners insurance, all of those different areas. It's hard to go over, all of those in detail.
Exactly.
But I just give my participants an idea of some things they need to look at or think about as they're planning out their finances. So look at all of those different areas,
That's so good. And like I said, it covers so
Yes,
much
yes, yes. It's a wide
that we
range.
need to know.
Yes, yes.
So you touched on credit.
Yes, yes. Not to be intimidating, but
Right,
yes, there's
because
a
it
lot.
can be.
It
It
can
can
be, but
be
it's
for
important.
people.
Yeah.
It is very important. What are some tips that you give people to either continue to have a good credit score or to get to where they need to be to get a good credit score?
So of course, your payments, making payments on time is one is key. It's very important as it relates to your credit. The amount of accounts that you have, and how much you have allocated. If you have a line of credit, how much you have in usage, and then how much you have available. Not going over the 30% range of that credit line, and so those different areas to look at, and some are low impacts or high impacts. So I talk about that as well.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
And so, like for parents or even grandparents, but if you have maybe an 18-year-old or a 21-year-old, can you add them to a credit card to kind of help build their credit?
That's excellent. That's exactly what you want to do at that age. You want to help them to build their credit. You want to add them to a credit card, but not one that's has a high amount of usage, they can actually access, but, a limited amount, and then make sure they're paying it off fully each month. That would help to build up their credit, to look at a 700, even 800 score once they're, graduating from college or, going into, a different field or whatever, so they're ready to, buy their home or a car or whatever because of their credit, good credit standing. Yeah.
That is such a good point to start at 17, 18 maybe, and then by the time they're out of college or if they're doing trade school or starting a business, the next 4 or 5 years, they'll have that great, high, excellent score.
Yeah.
And that would take you a long way, right?
Yes, definitely have their own credit history now. So,
That's excellent. That's really good to know. What about student loans? Do you work with kids regarding student?
Not necessarily with student loans, but we know that, the student loans are out there, and and one thing I do tell parents, it's good for students to go to college, and but make sure that they understand what their major is, so that they're not changing the major in their second, third year of college, because you're starting out over, you're adding more financial, debt into the, so I tell parents to make sure they talk to their children and find out what they really want to do in college, and not switching over majors. Also, it's not a requirement that all students go to college or all kids go to college. I mean, there's trades, like at my daughter's, I had one to go to cosmetology school, another one has massage therapy, and so they have those professionals, programs that they're in, and they have their own business now, in that field. So, it's not really a requirement, just finding out what, your kids are. So there's trades out there, mechanics, electrician, all of those different, skills and jobs, and sometimes those skills pay a lot more than someone who went to college for the 4 years and has $200,000.
Yes.
College loan. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's kind of scary when you come out with this amount of money that you owe.
Yeah.
And it's not always easy to find a job in your field.
Yes, it's not.
Especially making what you feel you should be making after going to school, studying, getting that degree,
And it's not forgiven. I mean, you have to pay it back. You can't chapter 21 or chapter 7 and get that. Yes. So, yes.
It's amazing. So, in the financial industry, what mindset do you have to have in order to be able to help people? Because it's not always easy.
It's not.
And some people, they have a lot of people, we do have issues with finances. Because it hasn't always been talked about, in homes. So what kind of mindset do you have to have, or do you work with people?
Yes. I mean, every person is different. They have different needs and things of that nature. And I think for my field as being a project manager, I have the ability to work with different types of personalities and different types of experiences. And so, just listening. I have to have a listening ear, to see what the needs are, of the client, and then, offer some suggestions to them, looking at where they're at in their finances and, offering some suggestion and just having a plan, putting a plan to get in place and making sure that action is taken and they're, taking the appropriate steps in order to, improve things, improve their situation. Yeah, so each individual, it's different. Yeah, yeah.
That's true though, because everybody's different.
Yeah.
Some people will take action. Some people it may take a little bit longer, but eventually they'll get there. So it's good that you're helping people in the community, especially the younger kids, because I don't know, I just feel like they need that, and they need to know I can't have money.
Oh yes.
There's no reason why I can't.
Yeah.
I don't have to be in debt.
Exactly. Yeah. So I worked in the financial, one of the banks, my last bank I worked in, we had clients like $5 million clients and, or above, with the financial plan. But my thought and my desire, anyone can have a financial plan. You don't really have to be a millionaire to have a financial plan. We all need planning for our finances, so that was another thing that really pushed me to move into my own business, to leave corporate America and to help, those who are in need of their finances. Yeah.
That's awesome. And so how long have you had your business?
I think, started, of course I wrote several of my books when I was working, but it's going on 6 years now. Yeah.
That's
6
awesome.
years. Yeah.
I know you've done a lot of seminars and workshops. I've been told they're amazing.
Thank you so much.
So much information. You break it down where it's so easy to understand. Because the numbers, it can be kind of, like you said, intimidating. Kind of difficult. But when you have someone like you kind of breaking it down and giving people the exact information they need, it's very helpful. And it makes you want to learn.
Yes.
It makes you want to learn and continue to grow.
And I'm so excited with the children. I created a game board for children to help them understand banking. And so we have the banking concepts like your savings account, your overdraft, you're taking points away if you go overdraft, and all of those different areas within banking. So children can learn about the banking concepts as well. So, that game board is available,
That is so good. And you may also help children even decide, I want to go into banking. I want to go into finance. So they can help other people too.
Definitely.
I love that. So you motivate people a lot. You're out helping people, inspiring people. What do you do to keep yourself motivated?
Well, I'm just, my spirituality, of course, keeps me motivated, but, I just love helping others, I really do, just part of, I get joy out of it, to encourage other people, so I have to esteem others more than yourselves, and that's pretty much what I do, I take time out to help, as much as I can, I'm so grateful for the life that I have and for my family and just, radiation.
Such a blessing. Such a blessing. And you're blessing others.
Oh, thank you.
So that's awesome.
Thank you so much.
So I would love to know, self-care is huge. It's so important and something that we have to do to take care of ourselves, mentally, physically, spiritually. So what are some of the things you do for self-care to take care of Angela?
Well, what I do to take care of Angela, actually, every morning when I get up, of course we have our routine, getting up in the morning, but I make sure that I include prayer in my getting up and also meditation and my journal. So I write in my journal, I write gratitude notes, I'm so thankful for all of these things and, just the internal and spiritual motivation within myself, and then of course I love to travel. So when I get the opportunity to travel, I do, and I relax, and I love to read books. I read a lot, and a lot of my books that I read, they're helpful books, business type books and things like that. I read them, on finance or what have you. But I'm learning. You can never stop learning. So I'm continuing to pour into myself. I want to pour into others, but Yeah, I love to read, and I love, to do other things as far as traveling.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
So
Mhm.
what are some of your favorite places to go where when you travel?
Yeah, well, I love Jamaica. That's my favorite place to
Yes.
go. Yeah. But I recently went on a trip, a European vacation, where I visited Rome, Italy, Paris, Switzerland. It was a tour, so that was like a lifetime, trip for me. Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah.
I bet
So
that felt
yeah,
good.
it did.
Very nice and
Yeah.
sightseeing and
Hmm.
just awesome.
Yeah, yeah. It
Yeah,
was.
that's great. So Angela, any last tips you want to give to help
Mhm.
people to get to where they need to be
Yeah,
financially?
yeah, yeah. Financial. Well, just some things I struggled with when I worked in the corporate America. Look at promotions. You're not getting promoted. You're not getting that raise that you're looking for. But just remain motivated in that. Continue to learn, continue to grow, and to do the best you can. Always strive to do your best in anything. And it's going to be recognized sooner or later. But what you're doing is you're also learning. You're building yourself up. You're increasing your knowledge. You're making yourself more valuable. And do not give up. Do not do the minimal work. Just continue to learn and, go to classes when your company offer classes and seminars and
Yes.
things. Continue to grow in that area, and your skills can be used in another organization if you're not promoted there, or you can start your own business because you have that, skill or
Right.
knowledge that you're picking up at
Absolutely.
that company. So
Yeah.
definitely do not give up on yourself, and do not minimize your talents and skills.
That's
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah.
That's good information
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
So, what are some things you have going on in your entrepreneurial world?
Well, I'm currently continuing to do more workshops. I have several speaking engagements coming up this summer, and they're all included on my website. You go to or on Facebook, I'm there. But yeah, I have a lot of things going on.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
can't wait
So
to come
that's
to
nice.
another
Okay,
workshop.
yeah, yeah. I look forward to seeing you.
Yes. So, Angela, can you let everyone know how they can connect with you and keep in
Yes.
touch with you?
Yes, my website is www.fingive.com. That's FINGIVE.com. Or you can reach out to me at Angela Underwood at fingive.com. That's my email address. Yes.
Excellent. Thank you,
Well,
Angela,
thank
and
you,
thank you all
Talisa.
so much for watching another episode of Conversations with Talise.